is up, guys? How is your weekend going? Gaming Waiter here, and it's been a hell of a week. Going for ranked Warzone dubs, going for duos dubs to finish our duo challenge. We're up to 84 now, only 16 more videos upcoming on that, of course, and just grinding out some solos dubs. I've been doing more and more solos these days, trying to get better and better, and I've decided I wanted to release some type of a video, breaking down a little bit of my solos mindset, seeing as I'm getting more and more dubs, and to try and help out anybody that's struggling, you know, getting their first solo dub. This one specifically on Ashika, there's an entirely different strategy for Vondel, which I don't feel like I am authorized yet to put out because I just don't get enough Vondel dubs, I'm not gonna lie. But with the Ashika, I feel like I'm getting them, you know, 1 out of every 5 matches, 2 out of every 5 matches, or something like that. Depends how regular I'm playing them. And I mean, it's feeling more and more natural, so why not, you know, share the glory, share the happiness, see what we can do to get y'all dubs. So this first match is just a highlight of some kills from a match I was doing as a warm-up to the win matches, I guess. It went pretty well. Got a bunch of kills, but didn't get this dub, unfortunately. But I thought it was just a cool intro to, you know, show off some of the various gameplays, show off how we're, you know, getting these kills, outplaying some people. Of course, some beautiful snipes, because it wouldn't be a Gaming Waiter video without some gorgeous snipes. And yeah. The rest of this, I'm just going to break down these 2 next solos wins that I've uploaded and edited down a little bit, cut down a little bit for y'all, and just trying to explain my strategy, why I'm making the decisions I'm making, what's pulling me to make those decisions, and all of that. So make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new here, and stay tuned, and hopefully you get some solos dubs. Comment down below if you do get any solos dubs, and yeah, let me know what the favorite part of your video is, and if you want to see more of these. Match, of course, just started. I landed in port area on a building that I usually land in duos. Also with Kev, we did a lot of landing here, so it's a building I know pretty well. Always my first suggestion for solos. Always, 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 always land at a building that you know that you're comfortable with. You don't want to, you know, land in and get into a gunfight or not know where a weapon is or not know where the box is and end up in like an awkward situation because of that. That's first step. Always land either next to a box or on top of a gun, get yourself equipped as fast as you can, look for that plate, and then get into your gunfight. If you can get your first kill like instantaneously off of landing, then I'd highly suggest going for it. Don't obviously leave your building or complex to do so, but you know, get the kill.
Oh, this is a lot.
Off and off the landing, we'll just start off the negative side is you die, right? You land in, get into a gunfight, maybe you kill the first person, get third-partied or something like that, you'll end up dying. It's annoying, it's frustrating, it's like the match just started, can I get my stuff going, I just want to get my loadout going, I want to get, you know, my guns going, why am I dying so fast? That's going to happen, can't let it frustrate you. It's a battle royale, there's 40 some odd people, everybody can technically land in the same spot if they want, it's just statistically, you can't win every initial gunfight, they might find a better gun than you, whatever the case may be. So, on resets, on your initial reset, always do the same strategy. Land back somewhere you know. I landed down by Resi, another place I know pretty well. I ended up getting third-partied, got it a trade out though, so had my resurgence timer going, and by that time I was able to rotate towards loadout, come back, get my resurgence timer, and then rotate towards loadout. A huge break there. A lot of people try to land in on loadout. It's not necessarily a bad strategy, because you'll get your loadout super fast. However, if there's people camping loadout, which it's solos, usually there are, you'll end up dying without a resurgence timer. If you're able to land within, let's say, 100 meters of it or so, or 50 meters of it or so, and knock down your resurgence timer a bit before hitting loadout, because it'll also take some off your resurgence timer, that way if you grab loadout and you get sniped, or you get RPG'd or shotgunned, or whatever it is, you'll still end up coming back. It's always a good strategy to keep in mind. You'll have guns. There's tons of guns in this game. Not all of them are the best, but a lot of them are highly functional, and all you need to get is 1 kill. So like, once you have that 1 kill, you can get their loot, you can get their stuff. As it approaches endgame though, and you have your loadout, and you are all ready to go, I run sniper quite a lot. There's a lot of people that run SMG-AR. I also happen to run SMG-AR. Sometimes I just prefer sniping personally, especially in solos. It's just very satisfying. 1 shot out of the game, don't have to deal with it.
It's not prone.
For sniping specifically, and this is just for fellow snipers and solos, once you have your loadout, unless you have a huge lead on somebody and know their exact location in the building, it is not the best to go into the building unless you're running an SMG as your sniper support. Here I'm running a cast-off 74U, it's an AR, so it's not necessarily the best in buildings. This was actually a build we found to be more practical for dealing with close-range gunfights. But as you notice in most of these gunfights, I'm losing all 3 of my plates. If I had a standard SMG, I don't think that would be the case. So just kind of keep in mind with what you're using, how you're going to play. So since I'm sniping, I want to be more on the outside edges of the zone, where I can have more distance between me and the enemy, and just try to lock down my areas around me. Try to make sure that no one's flanking me, no one's coming in from behind me, that I'm able to see as much as possible, you know, playing high grounds, playing roofs, playing rotations that give me good visibility on where other people are rotating from, and using all that game sense, map knowledge, and just awareness of what's going on, I'm able to slowly, you know, clear out my side of zone, make sure I'm alone, and you know, keep pushing forward. This gives me an ability to, instead of, you know, just regularly getting third-partied, I'm almost always either the person third-partying, or I'm almost, you know, just no 1v1s always. Like, it never really gets to a crazy point where it's just third parties. These are all after you have loadout, of course. As for you SMG AR players, and for when I made an SMG AR as well, the second win is going to be SMG AR, so we'll do more of a breakdown for that style of gameplay after. But this is more for sniper supports and snipers, specifically on this match, just because of the style I'm playing. There's a couple things when endgame zone comes in, just to keep in mind. Once Resurgence is disabled, it's just Battle Royale, it's not Resurgence anymore. So, play slower, play BR, you know, lock down your areas, get your zone rotations on, get your zone holds, make sure you know where you're going, and just be aware of that type of thing. Remember, you only have one life, so don't, like, over-peak things, don't, you know, stick out too far, don't do things that would put you into a risky styled scenario. Also, do not be afraid of gas. Gas is a boundary, sure. It gives you damage, sure, but don't be afraid of such a thing. The gas is obviously there to make the game go on and make people, you know, get closer and end the game faster. However, there's enough features in this game, I'd say, that let you survive through gas. You have durable gas mask, you have the regular gas mask, you have stims. They're all very, very good, and they all can be used to absolutely just dominate in gas. So make sure you know how you want to play things before you go into them, but rather than getting caught in awkward scenarios where you're just scrambling. That's usually the death. If you're scrambling on the edge of the zone, a little bit of panic gets in, people are always going to third party you there. So here's our second match. Pretty much the beginning of the match was uneventful. So we got loadout, bought it, threw it up on roof there, and went and grabbed the loadout. From loadout, we're just looking for information. We saw one guy coming off the hills, and we saw this kid jump out the window, and that's an easy kill. I'll just talk real quick about perks. Super important. We run, me and Kev that is, run Hyler, Restock, EOD, and of course Overkill up until a certain point. But yeah, a lot of people want to run Ghost. They don't want to appear on UAVs, heartbeats, things of that nature. I would much rather want to know if someone's aiming at my back than if someone has me on their minimap. Personally. Just me. So Hyler, game changer. Also, if anybody accidentally looks at me, someone's landing on me, like there's tons and tons of just game-changing times when Hyler saves your life. Restock, that's a trade-off right there over fast hands, especially when you're running SMG AR, because you want to be able to just keep reloading and keep switching weapons, and you want to be able to play aggressive like that. However, if you have somebody stun locked, and you have everybody stun locked, you don't need to worry about all that. If you stick them with a syntax, you don't need to worry about that. And that's more of the goal. Play more strategic, use your brain more, rather than just depending on quick weapon swaps and quick reloads and speed, basically. Play with actual brain capacity, that's the thought process there. And it makes for a lot crazier plays, it makes for better zone control, honestly. When you're using stuns, people can just be stopped in their tracks, it's huge. And I mean, syntaxes are just great, in general. Yeah, so that's why we run Restock. As for Bomb Squad, this one's more of a toss-up, honestly. Sometimes people run Scavenger, sorry, where you get the extra plate and some ammo. I don't think this is as useful, just because, especially on Ashika Island, there's plenty of that kind of stuff. You don't really have to worry about loot. I run bottom squad just because there's RPGs, claymores, proxy mines, obviously other grenades, and just tons of explosive stuff. EOD helps with all of that. Negates the damage that it does and lets you not have to, instantly run from the fight, and you can probably even re-engage if you get RPG'd and it doesn't directly hit you. So, like, more to the ability to keep myself tanked rather than doing damage to other people, I guess, is pretty much how my perks are set up. I'd rather make myself as strong as possible rather than trying to cripple other people.
Tune, man. What
At this point, just
3 times, my dude.
side note, we were live in this match, and I was checking chat when Hyler went off, so I wasn't paying attention, if you're wondering why I just stood there. Yeah, we were doing a live stream for it, but it was a good stream, so, whatever, a death's a death. This one's a huge reset. This one's a huge reset. So it's mid-game, pushing towards, third circle already, and there's people everywhere. There's still 30 people alive. There's literally people everywhere. I landed somewhere where I knew I could get lost. If you can't land necessarily on a building that you know, like, personally, if you can land somewhere that you can get lost and just burn off time, that's also a huge tactic. Because now you see my resurgence is already reactivated. Like, I'm already locked in, I'm ready to go. Guns or whatever. But I'm locked in, I'm ready to go, and that come up just comes instantly. Just being like, okay, screw it, I'm gonna throw myself in. And you could die. Yes, you could land on top of somebody and you could be in trouble. But another tip to that is right before you land, pull your parachute. And I don't mean for fall damage. I mean so you see where people are before you land in. A lot of people just land in, pull their parachute, and like, oh my god, there's someone here. It's like, yeah, no, you would have seen them if you were, looking in the air. So make sure you're always aware of where people are, especially when you're landing in. It'll give you a huge advantage. At this point, I'm in a rough position. I have a cluster mine out, which will help me a little bit, but I'm in a really rough position in sense of weaponry zone and all of that, so I'm trying to like figure out a way to regain here. It's a little bit rough of a regain. I'm not really finding loadout weapons here. I'm just killing other people with ground loot. But yeah, we end up pulling it off regardless, I believe. So it ends up working out. Again, perks, one quick other thing. If you see perks on the floor and you don't have perks, pick them up. It does not matter. Pick them up. Pick them up. Just do it. Okay? I'm not even going to explain why. Just pick them up. They're gonna save your life. There's a feature in this game currently, which I absolutely freaking love, which is just drones. There's 3 types of drones in the game, and the drones in this game all do 3 different things, but they are by far some of the most broken stuff in solos. Excuse me. You have a recon drone, which obviously does recon. It marks enemies. It can keep staying up in the air and live ping them for you and everything like that. Very useful for clearing out areas. You have the bomb drone, which pretty much the same as the recon drone, except for it explodes, so it doesn't do the whole marking thing, of course. But its explosion usually takes 3 plates off. If someone landed in, they usually only landed with 2, so it does kill them. So just keep that in mind. Very useful tactics for bomb drone. Also, if they're injured at all, it should also kill them. So if you can get a shot into them and then get a bomb drone up or something like that, that's also a very good tactic. The last one is this personal redeploy drone. It's the one I currently have in my inventory as my field upgrade. This drone has its ups and downs. Early game, mid game, when you're pushing with your duo, very nicely. In solos, not as much. It has its uses, it does. However, you will more likely, especially towards late game, more likely get shot using it and, eliminate it from the match than if you just, walked into zone on your feet. High alert, once again, saving the day. They're more useful in Vondel, which we will discuss as we go into our solos Vondel video. That's going to be later on. If you're getting pinched from both sides, take your easier fight. Always take the fight that you think you're going to win. Because the thought process is if they're there, right, and they're shooting at you, they know that their area is hypothetically clear, and rely a little bit on that. This was the idea here, just, push off the kid on the back and just keep holding my backside. And I know that one's on my left over here because of the high alert and the shots that came in. However, I don't see him yet, so I'm just gonna, slow walk, make sure all my angles are clear all my corners and stuff, and do my best to hold this far side zone. The zone's pulling to a buy station, a building I like to call toxic, just because it's usually camped out and people sit on the roof and they're very toxic about it. And the edge of this triangle curved building here, which I just call triangle, forgive me, I'm a preschooler. And yeah, so I don't like this zone. I'm not gonna lie. This zone is very rough. There's usually people all over that left building, which is cursed, and obviously these kids in triangle. I get this knock here. Do not get the finish, but I was getting crossfired with this kid up here on Toxic, which is actually... It's not bad. It gives me location on 2 people. This kid's obviously in trouble. He's gonna light me up from roof. I know just because of those shots that he's now not the best player. Those were terrible shots, just to put it simply. And if he was better, he should have done more damage to me off that head glitch. But it is what it is. My gas mask does burn out. Remember, do not be afraid of zone. Play it slow, play it smart.
Is that true?
There's plates in this game. You can just keep plating up. You'll be fine. Slow and steady. So I have this one guy running out this way. As I'm editing this, it occurs to me he probably had high alert, which is why he re-peeked me again.
See you later.
But somehow my COD timing just worked in my favor there. I hear a fight go down on the right, and I know this guy's pinned in this little like shed area, so I'm gonna just hold this angle and wait for him. There's literally not much he's gonna be able to do. This duplicated loot bug is still going on, of course. Getting a hold here means that I know that no one else is behind me, playing zone. I have the buy station to my, advantage now, and I can just grab another self, grab a durable, and vibe. And this gives me the ability to, chill out in zone while they're, struggling and trying to be like, okay, where are they, end game, end game, end game. And this one guy should know that someone's behind him, but he's never going to believe that someone's this far behind him. So I'm going to be able to get into zone right on the edge here. And see him here. A couple shots into him, and just go for the ego chow. And get the armor break. So I assume now that it is a 1v1. I'm not yet aware of that, but it is a 1v1. I will be aware of it in a couple seconds. And I'm just going to try and ego chow this guy out of this corner just in case I can get an armor break, because the armor break means everything here.
Oh,
on top,
see you
just
later.
changing the playing field a bit, which gives me an extra couple seconds, confuse him a bit, and literally win this by like one bullet.
Let's go!
I was dead.
Let's go!
And that's how you get the dub. Just make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and see y'all next time.